Hi everyone, back with us here on the C Morning Show, still talking about C Today business. And as you know, the new academic year is starting soon for many of our children, and many of us parents have prepared educational funds to send our children, well, hopefully to the best schools. But you know, best is obviously relative.
Yeah, that's the dream though. Now, some parents even prepared a huge amount of education fund, but often forget to set aside some fund for their pension, right?
Indeed. Now, for what we discussed earlier in the program, sandwich generations. This expense may recur every year until their children's graduation. So first of all, let's talk about what is a sandwich generation and how do we end the cycle of such generation, and how should those people that are in a sandwich generation manage their funds for both education and pension at the same time. And joining us this morning is friend of the program of See Today Business is personal finance enthusiast, Mas Dani Rachmat. Mas Dani, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
So, first of all, let's talk a little bit about sandwich generation. I want to get this right. When we say sandwich generation, we're preparing for our children's education, but for our pension, or is it that we're supporting our parents as well?
We are still supporting parents for sandwich generation.
Okay.
Still supporting parents while we have to support our family.
Okay.
Education fund for our kids and those kind of things.
So it's triple. It's like supporting
Yes.
our parents, our children, and preparing for our future as well. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
That's 3 generations.
Yes.
And now, we want to know, for us as a sandwich generation, we want to end the cycle. We don't want our children to carry the same burden as us. Now, how do we prepare this and how to break this cycle? Maybe you should tell us more about how we can manage to manage our pension funds well while we're still supporting everything, right?
Actually,
Juggling a lot of balls.
Juggling.
Actually, the sandwich generation happened because the parents, they didn't prepare their pension fund so that when they got old, entering the pension age, and then they relied on the children, us.
Okay.
When we are entering the workforce.
Oh, you mean the previous generation?
Yeah, the
For
previous
example,
generation.
Our parents did not
Yeah.
prepare a proper pension fund.
They
Gotcha.
didn't prepare. Maybe they didn't prepare their pension fund because they focusing on our education.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, they spend so many things on us, on our education. They want the best for us.
Of course.
So that was the cost that makes us the sandwich generation now.
Yeah.
So how to break that cycle? The answer is to prepare your pension fund better than our parents.
For us, for
For
our
us.
future.
Yes,
Gotcha.
for our future. So that when we enter the pension age, we don't rely.
On
Our
our
children.
children. Yeah.
So that is the answer. But then, how do we manage that? Because we also have to prepare the education fund for our kids, right?
Yeah.
That is the real questions. Because maybe we talked about it a few weeks back that Indonesian people start to prepare the pension fund at the age of 40, while other countries they start the pension fund at 30s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very early.
And also it depends when you get married in life. Like I got married pretty late, so it wasn't in my immediate, like earlier in life I wasn't thinking about putting money away for kids. I wasn't even married.
Yeah.
So I have less of a window to do so as well. So let's talk about that a little bit. When it comes to preparing for your educational fund for your children, many of us, and myself, I'm guilty as charged as well, I never prepared funds before. Like that would be the proper family planning. Prepare your funds
Yeah.
first and then prepare to have
Yeah.
children. But these things just happen, you have kids. So what would be your best advice? Is it actually more feasible to plan for that first and put money away before you even start family planning? And what
Yeah.
do you do if it's too late? What if you already have a kid?
Yeah, actually, for education fund, this is the thing that we can prepare very early, even before we got married. When we are talking about marriage and then how many kids that we will have, at that stage, maybe we can already start to prepare the education fund that we want for our kids.
Okay.
But then, if we already have kids, how do we prepare that? So that there are so many stages of education, right?
Sure.
So which one is the heaviest part of education that we need to support, and we can focus on that. So maybe for the elementary school, the elementary school, middle, and then high school, we can just prepare for the uang pangkal the English
Okay.
for orang
Oh, just
Patalis.
the tuition, monthly tuition?
The yearly.
No, the yearly,
tuition,
the yearly
right,
one,
okay.
or maybe the one-time payment that you need to make when they entering the
Correct.
school,
Yeah.
and then for the monthly, you can use the monthly salary and consider it as what is it, operational expense.
Just running expenses,
yes,
right? Okay.
monthly expense,
That
so
makes
that will be easier for us to manage. Instead, so many people, they didn't start to prepare the education fund early, but then they want to start everything, including the monthly tuition fee. That will be very hard for them. So that is why they cannot focus on the pension fund as well.
Right.
Oh.
So that you have to set aside the money for your pension fund, and then focusing on the biggest part of the education. The most important part for me is the university.
Yeah.
for my
Yeah, that's what
children.
that was gonna be my follow-up question. I have many friends that are so focused on, they spend a lot of money on their children's education, but it's well-intended, right? They want the
Yeah.
best, like you
Yes,
said. We want the
yes.
best for our kids.
Want the best.
But already from kindergarten to first grade to second grade, they're already sending them to the most expensive schools.
Yes.
Is that not advisable? Because obviously when it comes to academics, it's less important at a younger age
Yes.
than, I would say, post-secondary, like you said,
Yeah.
university or college, right?
Yeah. Actually, the question is whether they really need it, because
Right.
the reasoning is that I want my kid to have good networks,
Yeah.
friends from good families,
Right.
Yeah.
those kind of things. But is it really that important, or is that really the parents' ego? To follow the parents' ego,
Ouch.
to follow the parents' lifestyle,
Yeah.
because they have to manage that image in front of their peers.
Yeah.
The parents' image, not the kids' image.
Not the kids' image,
They
because-
they
That's
don't need any
interesting.
image.
Yeah.
Well, because the kids aren't like the 4-year-old's not telling his 4-year-old neighbor
Yeah.
friend,
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to so-and-so school. It's the
Yeah.
parents that
So
are
I'm going
usually
with the son of this artist or something.
saying.
right?
Yes, we hear that a lot.
Yeah. Sometimes
So-
that happens.
So that the parents should really ask that about themselves, whether they really need it. I mean, the kid really need it or not.
Okay.
Because maybe for the public school, they can just get the basic education, and then
Yeah.
they can give more at home. The parents can give more education at home. They can
Yeah.
even you can speak English with your kids
Yeah,
Yes.
at
and-
home, right? You
and
don't
make
have to
emphasize.
get the English at school
Like
for the
international
basic.
schools.
Yes.
or anything
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
totally agree. I believe like
Yeah.
at a younger age, we're the biggest teachers at home.
Yeah. I agree also, but but to some extent. But I want to know, Mas Dani, because I have one son. I have a son, and I've put him in insurance, in educational insurance from when he was 1 year old. Would it help? Because up until now, we haven't really used anything because he's only 5 now. But would it
okay.
help in the future if we put him in some sort of education insurance?
The questions will be: have you already checked for the insurance, the education insurance that you buy, whether at the stages that you will need the money, the money that will coming from the insurance is adequate or not?
Oh, okay.
If it is not, actually the concept of insurance is to protect the parents that bring monies to the home and then finance the education, right? So the one that you insure for the
For my son,
education insurance is your son.
My son. So the money will come in when he entered the elementary school,
yes.
high school.
Middle school.
Middle school,
Middle
high
school,
school,
high
and
school,
then the last term is for the university.
So this is like you can withdraw the funds at those stages.
Yes.
So have you checked the amount that you will get compared to the cost
Nah.
that you have to?
I've checked, but it's not enough for
not enough, yes.
it's not enough for the education that I want. But I still have to put aside some money for the tuition.
Compared to nothing, that will be better. But then for what I believe is that it will be better to get insurance for the parents. The maximum protection that you can get out of the insurance,
Oh, I see.
that will be cheaper for term life insurance.
Really?
Yes, that will be cheaper. And then you invest directly, because when you buy the I'm so sorry for the insurance industry market. For the education insurance funds, specifically for this, the investment that you can make, you can do it directly, like buying stocks
Right.
and putting in the
I see.
government bond and everything, because you will pay less fee on those investment instead of putting it through insurance, because you still have to pay the insurance to manage your money to invest. So buy insurance for the parents, the maximum protection that you can get via term life, that will be very cheap, and then invest your money directly into the investment options.
Portals, right.
Yeah, that available in the market.
And also, I also heard that when it comes to this investment, when you take out insurance for yourselves as well, you need to kind of reset your parameters every couple of years. You have to make
Yes.
sure that what you're actually putting in is still the same amount that's being invested, because premiums do go up, and a lot of times we just pay this for years and years. We don't actually keep track.
Would you check mine?
My insurance guy told me that actually. He's like, you need to check, because if you need to up your monthlies, to make sure that you're still putting away the amount that you wanted to put away from the beginning, because sometimes that amount gets reduced, right? And you don't even realize it's happening.
Okay, I need to check mine.
So, so let's talk a little bit about the flip side of things, the pension funds. So first of all, how much should we balance putting away for our education as opposed to our future? Because like you said, our parents are so well-intended that they put so much away for us that they forgot to put away from themselves. What's the proper balance?
Actually, for education fund, the proportion that you need to set aside is only 10%.
Okay.
So that if your kids' education fee, tuition, and everything is more than 10% of your monthly income, that is a bit too high.
Okay.
And then you can set aside 10% or 20% of your income to your investment for pension.
So it's about 50-50.
Yeah. So that 10% and then 10%, only 20% of your income, you can do both for education and also for pension. If you want to do better, you can do bigger in the pension part, like 20 or 30%, but 30% is quite heavy for some people. So that 10% is already good.
Okay. I have 3 kids, so is that 30%? No, I guess not. It's a little bit pricey there as you get more kids.
Okay, so maybe you can talk more about the instrument for us to just be sure that we have this pension fund plan for us, so that we don't.
Because it's much more long term, right? When it comes to that.
Yes. Actually, for education fund is also quite long term.
Right.
Because if you start planning to do the education funds since you got married with your couple, and then you have like what, maybe 1 to 2 years before you start getting pregnant, and then another 6 years.
Sure.
So
before
that
they
will
go to
be
school.
8 years. 8 years is quite long. And then you can put your money in the same instrument as your pension fund. Pension fund, you do like 10, maybe 15, or maybe 30 years, and you can put your money in stocks. And then for the education fund, you can also put on the same instrument.
I see.
Some financial planners say that you have to set aside different instrument for different goals.
I've heard this, yeah.
But that is, for me, that is not make quite any sense, because if you have a good instrument, why do you have to split your investment into so many instruments that is not as good as the one that you know already good enough?
Especially if you're looking at a similar time frame. Right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
That would make sense.
So that you only need to take out the education fund. If it is only maybe 3 years ahead, then okay, I need to move the investment to more stable instrument. So that maybe if it is already growing, and you make already so much profit of it, you can take out some part of it that you need for the education of the children.
Right, that makes sense.
So, yeah, you can use the same instrument all around for all of the financial purposes that you have, and then just split it once it's already needing the.
When it comes time that you need certain parts of it. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Make sense?
That's simpler. That's simpler.
A lot more simpler. Okay.
So it's 20% to 30%. Just put it away. That's all you need to know.
Okay. So if like me, for example, I'm gonna be 36. What should I prioritize first?
Lucky
The
you.
fun. Funding for my son's education or my pension fund?
Both.
Both.
But if asked which one is the highest priority, the pension fund.
Really?
Because, yes, because when you were like 60 and entering pension age, and your son is like what, 25, 30,
Yeah.
and starting their life, you don't want to burden your son's life.
Of course. Yeah.
You want to living the life that you want with your own money without asking anything from
Yeah,
our
from
son,
them,
from your son, from my son.
Yeah.
So that they can do whatever they want with their life, and then we can still enjoy our life.
Okay.
So the priority will be the pension fund anytime.
I see. Us comes first.
Yeah, breaking the cycle, I guess, is the key
Yeah.
there, right? If you go back to earlier in the conversation. So, I guess any last notes in regards to when we're in this sandwich generation now? Is it still possible for us to put enough money away for our kids' education and put enough away for our pension in order to break the cycle? I mean, this is something, especially if those of us that still have parents to support.
Yeah.
Of course. For the parents that we still have to support, yes, there is part that we have to set aside, of course. But then for our children and ourselves, there is still also some part that we can and we have to set apart. Because of what? Like in when we are in airplane, something bad happened, and then the mask came down. We have to prioritize ourselves.
Yeah.
That's true.
So that save ourselves first, prioritize ourselves, so that we can help others.
Because if we don't save ourselves, then
Yes,
we can't do
we
anything
cannot
for
help.
anyone else.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. It's a very good analogy. Scary
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
If
Well.
you think about it, it's true though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mas Dani, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
chatting
much.
with us in regards to this. I know
Yeah.
plenty of Indonesians, a lot of us are going through this sort of
Yeah.
things where we do want to give our best for our parents and for our children, and we sometimes neglect to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah. But love yourself first so that you can pour for another. Right?
Words of wisdom.
Yeah. No. Okay, we're set for a commercial break. When we return, we'll bring you the headlines from around the globe. Stay tuned to the C Morning Show.